On March 18, 2019, the Italian Air Force Typhoons, deployed to Iceland to support NATO's air policing operations, conducted interception of two Russian Tu-142 aircraft. They were scrambled after Russian aircraft were detected near the airspace of Iceland. This particular incident was unique since it happened in the far north and involved two Tu-142s. Generally, those don't fly in pair. The mission was carried out by Italian Eurofighter Typhoons deployed to Keflavik, Iceland. Typhoons are stationed there to undertake QRA, Quick Reaction Alert, duties like this since Iceland, which is part of NATO, doesn't have a full range of air defense capability. Typhoons carried out VID, or visual identification, of the Russian aircraft and escorted out the Tu-142s. It's to be noted that NATO members like America, Canada, the Czech Republic, Denmark, France, Germany, and Italy have been taking turns in deploying aircraft to guard the airspace of Iceland. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes Eurofighter Typhoons intercepting Russian Tu-142. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank or aircraft and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. Iceland is not only a NATO member but also has a security treaty with the United States. Actually, the US was maintaining the Naval Air Station Keflavik until 2006. The base is now operated by the Icelandic Coast Guard. Iceland also has several defense and security-related treaties with Norway, Denmark, and other NATO countries. Iceland holds the annual NATO exercise named Northern Viking. Russian forces can reach Iceland through air or sea, and if captured, it can be used as a base for a Russian onslaught on Europe. Overall, it can be said that Iceland, being in the far north, is strategically placed, and its security is important for NATO. The Tupolev Tu-142 is Russian maritime reconnaissance and anti-submarine warfare (ASW) aircraft. The Tu-142 was designed by the Tupolev Design Bureau during the Soviet era and was manufactured by the Kuibyshev Aviation and Taganrog machinery plants from 1968 to 1994. It has formerly been operated by the Soviet Navy and Ukrainian Air Force and currently serves with the Russian Navy. In the late 1950s, the U.S. Navy developed the UGM-27 Polaris, a submarine-launched ballistic missile, SLBM, with a range of more than 1,000 miles or 1,800 kilometers. So there was a need for the Soviet Union to counter the submarines, which were the launch pad of UGM-27 Polaris. Keeping this in view, the Soviet government ordered to check the possibility of developing a dedicated anti-submarine warfare aircraft. Tupolev Tu-142 was ultimately selected. It was basically derived from Tu-95 turboprop strategic bomber. There were many different variants developed since then. The Tu-142 has also seen many upgrades that include better avionics and sensors, engines to name a few. The aircraft can fly at a maximum speed of 575 miles per hour or 925 kilometers per hour and has a combat radius of 3,977 miles or 6,500 kilometers. The Tu-142 MK and the latest MZ variant are capable of carrying around 20,000 pounds or 9,000 kilograms of weapons inside 2 fuselage weapons bays. A typical loadout will have options including 3 torpedoes or depth charges, including nuclear depth charges, mines, and sonobuoys. The Eurofighter Typhoon is a twin-engine, canard delta-wing, multi-role fighter. The Typhoon was designed originally as an air superiority fighter, but been increasingly better equipped to undertake air-to-surface strike mission also. It's manufactured by a consortium of Airbus, BAE Systems, and Leonardo. It's currently being used by air forces of 9 countries, and the primary ones are Royal Air Force, German Air Force, Italian Air Force, and Spanish Air Force. Typhoon, as of now, is one of the most capable fighter jets. It's agile, making it excellent for dogfights, has super cruise capability at Mach 1.5, and a range of 1,800 miles or 2,900 kilometers. For air-to-air engagement, it can be equipped with AIM-132 ASRAM, AIM-9 Sidewinder, Iris-T, and MBDA Meteor. As per image, the Italian Typhoon was carrying at least 1 Iris-T missile, though it could be carrying other missiles too, which are not visible from this angle. The missile is a short-range air-to-air infrared homing missile. It has a range of 16 miles or 25 kilometers and is capable of Mach 3 speed. The last time 2 142s were intercepted by NATO was on the 1st of September 2018. At that time, 4 Japan Air Self-Defense Force jets were scrambled as 2 142 MZs were loitering near the Japanese archipelago. This incident comes after a very recent confrontation between American B-52 and Russian Su-27, which took place over the Baltic Sea. Viewers can check that video from the above card. This kind of mission are taken up as a show of force and to check the response time of adversary. 2 142s is a fairly large aircraft and has no stealth characteristics, making it an easy target to detect and track. Typhoon has an excellent radar and will be able to detect and track a 2 142 from far away. The weapons carried by Typhoon will not have any issue knocking off the 2 142s. It's safe to assume that in wartime, the 2 142s will be escorted by Russian fighters.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.